Hello everyone and welcome back for some Angels with Scaly Wings. Here it is. So might as well also just make the note that I do also technically have another stream going on my tablet over here. The one that I was actually just mentioning in the chat there with Justin. It's on mute though, and I'm only doing it to gather the points so I can donate a villain point later. It's a thing with their Pathfinder stuff. Anyways, that aside, they are just having their fun, you know, whatever. Alright, so we have left off, right, with the answering machine from Lorem's previous state. He was impressed. We're going to be hearing that again in just a moment. And, I believe this is our third date with Lorem. So we are, what did I name the title exactly? Something Lorem and the Expired Treasure Hunt? Yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing today. At first, and then some more investigation stuff. And I don't think we're going to have time for Lorem's fourth date yet. Alright, sorry, I'm just checking some stuff here real quick. Alright, so officially starting up, I suppose, is, again, we are just coming up here on the answering machine. Hey, Cabbage, guess what? We're going treasure hunting! So put on a robe and your best treasure hunting hat, and let's get going! So, ironically, this would actually go exactly with my scheme Leary that I was also just mentioning in chat. Because he is a rogue and illusionist, so he has the skills of literally having a robe and having his equivalent treasure hunting stuff on him. Seriously, call me back when you hear this. Oh god, we're the murderer because Scheme Leary carries at all times 11 daggers. That's who's been killing everyone. Alright, so, chapter 3, so we do need to get a dean for the last time. Here we are again. Just a minute. And we are not going to be naming a dean anything for a stage name, because we're not going to be even here for the chapter 4, we're even pretty much going to skip this. You said something about going to the beach. Yep. You know, I'm glad they decided not to send you away after all. Me too. Well, it's not like they had a choice. Oh, and guess who got their entry into the stunt flying competition? Alright, so Justin. I assume you're here right now? I'll give you a minute. Which option do you actually want to pick? Are we gonna actually guess accurately that you did? You got your entry into a stunt flying competition? Are we gonna be silly and say, was it us? When YouTube takes a big dump. Are you having trouble there, Justin? And the other option is, we can, I don't really think it's a tease. I think that would just be sort of rubbing dirt in your wounds, more or less, is to ask if Remy did. Gonna be one of those days? Alright. Well, looks like the stream I was watching has just ended. And I have the was it? Piezo power, I guess that's what they're calling it for that Twitch channel. I have enough to donate a villain point next week, so that I can get the player characters into some paper shenanigans. Insert JoJo reference? Let's see. I thought it was, okay, so you thought it... Nadine already technically did do that, so... Let's say isn't me, that'd be, I think, the closest. But it was I! Don't be silly, Cabbage. I've got it right here in black and white. We're happy to confirm your entry into the annual stunt playing competition. Please have your competitor number ready when you show up at the organizer's booth at the summer festival by... Well, who cares about the rest? I'm in! That's great! Yeah, but the festival's pretty soon, and I have to make the most of my time until then to get my skills up to par. Alright, I thought you already had years of experience. Yeah, but now I have to practice the best routine I can possibly come up with. Not to mention making sure that I can execute it flawlessly when the time comes. Practicing in general is very different from practicing for an event like this one. I see. Are you ready to see some stunt flying? Well, I mean, Cabbage has already said yes, but no, we're not. Sorry, Adine. Let's go. Alright, it hasn't actually asked us if... Oh, there it is, finally. Yes. Skip ahead. Thank you. So something about the blueprints, I think. Would you do the honors? Sure. Hello, Doppel. Playing with your lovely doggo? Alright, that's fair enough. We were playing with our lovely Jurg, or Draggy, I guess. Doppel here in the chat and in game. Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't actually name Nadine yet, so you can actually get off this time before. Unless it has some sort of a memory where, oh hey, yeah, last time we named it Doppel, so... can I ask you something? Sure, go right ahead. You went to visit Remy in the library the other day, right? How do you know that? I was there, and Remy told me about everything. What do you mean, everything? Emilia. Oh. Why did he tell you about all that? He's dealing with a lot of stuff, it seems. Well, he isn't the only one. I actually wanted to talk with him again, but if he doesn't respond, then I can't do anything either. I see. I guess I remind him too much of her. If he knew what I know, I'm not sure what he would do. This is fine? Yeah, this is definitely fine too, because we just finished bandaging up Doppel's wing there. What's that? Let me just do something here real quick. I need to send a message on Discord. What's that? When she got sick, I often visit. So I could spend a few minutes on this. We are focusing on Lorem, of course. Do you want me to actually read this, or should I be skimming or skipping this entirely? I'll read semi-slow until somebody says something. When she got sick, I often visited her. I just wanted to check up on her and take a little of the edge off, considering what she was going through at work. The night she died, I was actually with her. I stayed with her until pretty late, but as I had work the next day, I eventually left. It was late enough, and I told her to take it easy. She told me that she was going to finish up one little thing before she got some much-needed sleep. But only after I left did she realize that she had run out of her medication, and went out alone to get a refill. If she just told me, or if I had paid more attention and noticed, I could have gotten it for her, and then none of this would have happened. And that's not even the worst part of it. When she died, she was pregnant. They had already made so many plans, and I expected them to announce their engagement any day. Remy doesn't know she was pregnant? He doesn't, or at least I don't think he does. They couldn't talk to each other, as much as they had to keep their relationship secret. It's not exactly something she'd want to mention in just a few sentences. If he knows, then it certainly wasn't from her telling him about it. I see. If he doesn't know, please don't tell him. Alright? I know it must have been much harder for him than it was for me. That doesn't mean I got out of it unscathed. I lost my best friend. I blamed myself for a long time too. I guess I still do. How could I face him knowing that I could have averted this tragedy so easily? I think his own feelings aren't that different. How so? He still blames himself for not being with her when it happened. Because they had not kept their relationships a secret. Yeah. I see. That must be horrible for him. I think he still hasn't gotten over it. I wish I could help him, I really do. What did you do after it all happened? For a while I just felt guilty, but eventually I realized that there are those who have it much worse than myself. I decided to take what I had experienced and turn it into something positive. That's when I started volunteering at the orphanage. Why just let tragedies be tragedies if I could do something to help? I share the same sentiment. How so? I came here hoping that I could help humanity. Maybe you're not just helping humanity. Here, that should do it. How does it feel? Much better. Maybe with this I can even start practicing again in a day or two. Just be safe. I don't know, Dean, you're gonna have like 3 days to practice, and if you're not practicing for 2 of the days, you're really gonna be stretching that. Of course. Well, thanks for the help with the bandage, and sorry about cutting practice short today. I guess you didn't see any proper aerobatics after all. It's no big deal, your health is more important. And unfortunately, we're also focusing on Lorem today. Thanks for coming at any rate. You're welcome. I guess I'll leave you to recuperate now. Maybe I'll see you next time. Sure thing. Bye! Alright, so we now have the Ixomen Sphere, the Ixomen Base. We are about to talk with Lorem. And we have finished talking with Adine for the 3rd and final time. Specifically, Adine to put the final setting in place when we talk with Lorem. This is probably going to be something that Doppel has not seen, from what he's indicated to me. It's just a couple of lines, maybe even 1 line extra in Doppel's case. Looks like I have some free time today. So, we finished with Adine, now it's Lorem's turn. Definitely interested in that 1 line. It won't come up in this stream because it's chapter 3 unless it goes by rather quickly. It'll be his 4th date. So it turns out we've seen this before, and no, we're not going to skip ahead, as you wish. Hey Lorem. Hey Cabbage. So, where exactly are we going? You mentioned something about treasure hunting, but don't tell me we're actually trying to unearth some ancient human artifacts. Don't worry, this is going to be fun! Let's hope for the best. I'm not sure who came up with it, but some guy gave me this kit as a present a few months ago. He showed me the map. It was a piece of paper, and it had obviously been treated to look much older than it really was. Alright, so, Lorem? I think among your internet troubles, you seem to be a bit behind now, Justin. Sounds like fun, Doppel? Alright. I'm glad you agree. I'm not sure if I can be of much assistance, though. I don't know much about this area. Don't know much about this area. But you're big and strong! Or at least you're bigger and stronger than I am. Oh good, so we're playing the bodyguard. You can do the digging! Great! Besides, I've wanted to do this for a while, and now Ipsum is always so busy, so I figured this would be as good a time as any. Do we need to bring a shovel, or do you expect me to dig with my bare hands? Well, the instructions say we only need this map and a pen. Alright, so... do we have a pen? Are we gonna ask what about ourselves? Or, alright. Alright, so Doppel says he wants to have a pen. I think I know your problem, Justin. Not so much how to fix it, but my tablet, it either doesn't have a strong internet, and I think it definitely doesn't have a strong internet, because it does have problems with chat sometimes, with something just connecting. Lags for you sometimes? Alright. It's only bad for me when I'm on my tablet and for whatever reason the internet just stops, so it actually gets nothing. I have to just quickly toggle the internet off and on again, and that takes a little bit of time. And that messes up with the video, the live streaming in Doppel's case, and definitely the chat because obviously nothing's getting through. Alright, so I assume Justin wants to agree with we've got a pen, alright. Great, then we're all set. So, where are we supposed to go? If this is the facility, then the place indicated is the school, or rather, somewhere between the school and the administrative building. Let's go then. Alright, so we actually get a chance to basically sneak up on Anna, effectively. When streaming, the browser slowly eats more and more RAM and instantly... that's awful. Yeah, no, the problem for me is, on my device here, screen turned on. That's fine. It's only a picture of my cat. I'm quite impressed by that though. But for me, when I'm watching like a stream, every hour or half an hour, I just lose internet. It's still connected, but no video or chat is actually getting through. And in fact, it even has a little loading circle, so I have to turn off the internet and turn it back on again, because even going back to the YouTube homepage or even Twitch and in the equivalents, I get no new thumbnails or video recommendations or anything. So I physically have to just hit the Wi-Fi to turn it off and turn it back on again, even if it's on the 5G network, which is ironically not as shown as the normal network, the 2.4. So I just have to toggle that off and on again. It takes a minute, so I lose bits of dialogue, and if I start doing that, I actually have to keep doing that for every 5 minutes, or about every few minutes actually, or several minutes. So I lose a little bit of context whenever that happens. And it pops up every hour, half an hour or so. So it's really irritating. So that being said, this is the Samsung Samsung Tab S6. I do also actually have a separate keyboard. I think this is the S6. I would have to take a look later. So it is a pretty good tablet. Just as sorry, this is a sudden review. Weak-ish internet, probably my tablet side. The AMOLED screen is a little prone to pixel burn-in for whatever reason. It's stupid how easy it is. And the sensitivity on the screen does not always match up when you're using the S Pen. Those are the only three things against the S6 here, but it's a pretty decent tablet otherwise. So, getting the tablet out of the way. Shameless self-promotion. Here we are. The X on the map is right between these two buildings, so it must be around here somewhere. Back to school, huh? Not quite yet. Everyone's on summer break right now. Which is a good thing, because we really wouldn't want to get you all swarmed by the children. They would go crazy if they saw you. How does school work here anyways? Are you talking about this one, or schools in general? In general. I'd like to know more about how your school system works as a whole. I see. You won't get a learning opportunity, won't let a learning opportunity go by, sorry. I'm just doing my job. We should start looking for that treasure then. Sure. While I looked for hints as to the treasure's whereabouts, Lorem started talking. Right. We do have quite the educational system. Different schools and districts run on their own, so when looking at the details, things can vary a lot. However, there are a few things that are true no matter which region you're in. Compulsory education lasts about 10 years. There are a lot of options for schools and school systems. Choices is an important factor here. We recognize that there isn't one system that works best for everyone, so there are many options depending on what path you want to take. That doesn't sound too different from what it used to be like in my world, but nowadays things are a bit more chaotic. Practical skills are valued most in our city, and you aren't really given any choice to do anything else. Sure, people can learn other things on their own, but it's not as if school is mandatory anymore. People just do whatever they feel like. Did you grow up like that too? No, I still got to experience our old education system, college included. What was your favorite subject? Heh, my favorite subject is math. Doppel, what's your favorite subject, and if you're here anyways, and Justin, if you're here, and able to answer. Alright, so your option is math as well? Alright. We as math nerds. I'll give it a moment if Justin is able to answer. I'm guessing Justin would actually want to say physical education there. Maybe art. If lumping art in with music, definitely music, I think. So in the event that Justin does answer, I will actually just get some dice rolled already. Using my tablet, might as well show this off. Yeah, here we are. There it is, my dice app. Okay, got that. More shameless self-promotions, just rolling some dice. I'm gonna try and do this using the screen. Let's see, where's my finger? Okay, wrong dice. Also the wrong dice. 6. Okay, so that was a 1. Yeah, that's my fancy little dice app there. $5 on itch. And I can get it on PC and stuff. Alright, so Justin has not answered yet while I was doing some more stuff. So, math. I see. My favorite was art class. Trying out different mediums was always so much fun. I tried sculpting again recently. What for? Art doesn't need a justification. But anyways, it helps me to visualize what the characters in my game should look like. Can't you do that with a computer? Sure, but working with a physical medium makes things much easier for me. Instead of working with an interface, there is only my hands and a lump of clay. No technological gadgets required. I see. Did you find anything yet? I sure haven't. No, I feel like we must be missing something. Maybe, but the map clearly marked this place. You can see it for yourself. Yeah, the X definitely points to this alley. Then it must be here somewhere. Alright, so for choices. And I'm gonna have to assume that Justin may not be able to answer. So we could look in the windows. We could investigate the water troughs. Or we could examine the walls. You know, I do find it interesting. This must be like a dragon thing, but why do they have a water trough? Basically a big giant sink, because you can see the little faucets and everything. Outside? That really must be for like a... Okay, windows? That really must be for something like Bryce to just come up, oh yeah, I need some water, but I don't have hands to help out or anything, so just... yeah. Maybe it has something to do with the windows. You think so? It's as good a guess as any. I suppose. You can fly, right? Sure. Okay, you check out the windows on the left. You should be able to get a better view inside, if any. Alright. But thank you for drinking. Fair enough. It could be for washing your hands. Well, yeah, that is just kind of the weird thing, though, is, you know, here in BC, where I live, I haven't seen any wash your hands fountain outside. It's only been hand sanitizer inside Walmart over that ways. Well, maybe that ways more on stream. I don't know. Alright. As Lorem flew up to the windowsill with a few flaps of his wings, I turned to the right to look inside the window of the administrative building. The curtains were closed, but through a small gap I could barely see inside. I got closer and closer, hoping to get a better view. Then my forehead bumped into the glass with a dull thud. I heard some movement behind the curtains. Suddenly they were drawn open to reveal a black dragoness who looked down on me with disapproval. In an instant, her expression changed from one of shock to surprise. Before anything else could happen, I quickly stepped away from the window and outside her view. So, awkward. Just an empty classroom on my side. Did you find anything? Nothing. Roll perception, Cabbage. We can now investigate the water troughs or examine the walls. Oh. Yeah, I could actually definitely roll that perception, too. Let's see how convincing we were in straight up lying. 16, wow. I think except for a shocked dragoness. Yes, exactly. We were apparently really good at disguising the shocked dragoness. Alright, so examine the walls. Maybe it has something to do with the walls. What makes you think so? We're clearly missing something here, so maybe there's some sort of a hint we've been overlooking. Something that would be obvious to anyone else who came through here. I have no idea what you're talking about. These walls don't really look special to me. My gaze slowly went along the walls, trying to find something, anything that could have a hidden meaning. Hey, look at that! What do you mean? Well, it kinda looks like an X on the wall, don't you think? I guess so. Maybe it's here somewhere. Look here! Lorem crouched down and stuck his hand in an indentation that ran along the wall near the ground. Aha! What is it? He pulled out a cylindrical, shiny object and held it up to me. It looks like some sort of capsule. Maybe there's something inside. That's going to be a pretty small treasure. You know, my dad actually does what's called geocaching. It's basically exactly what Cabbage and Lorem are doing right now is geocaching. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. He screwed it open and held two halves of the cylinder object in his hands. To our surprise, it didn't have an empty space on the inside. Nothing could be hidden within. You certainly have? Yeah, alright. So, my dad liked to geocache. I think he still vaguely does. He's getting older. But he absolutely loved to just go outdoors and to literally all the mountains all around us here. Just geocaching, hunting for the little treasures, basically like Lorem here. Trading trinkets and stuff. Inside of the two halves were engraved. What does it say? 2J. That's it? Yep. Yeah, it's also on the other half. It might be coordinates. The grid on the map had numbers and letters like that. That would mean 2J would be here. Right in the middle of a forest. Let's go! Finding our spot might be a bit more difficult from here on out. Why is that? We don't really have any buildings and addresses as reference anymore. Here we only have a spot in the middle of the forest. Don't worry, I have an excellent sense of navigation. Let's hope we find it before it gets too dark, though, or things might become a lot more complicated. I'd rather not get lost in here. You won't have to worry about a thing. If there are any predators in the area, they'll see me as a better target than you. Hello, Gabriel. I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Let's see. Yeah, so Lorem has just finished telling us, you don't have to worry about anything. If there is any threat in here, they're gonna find me way more tasty than you. Yeah. I have, 2 D&D groups, basically. One has migrated to online for literally that very reason, and the imposed restrictions. We have not gathered together in base yet for the very reasons of we have too many risks. I have my cat way over there on the corner of my bed. She's just sleeping. I can't risk having her getting sick, because if I bring something home, she has no defense against it. And she bonded with me, so she really has no defense against anything I bring home. Several of our other party members, group, do not have, they can't take the risk, and our Wednesday group at the college, for the exact same reasons, our DM, who's also on the Wednesday group at the college, just is not likely to return. So, at least we are doing so online, and we're still having fun. Yay! Let's see, so you don't have to worry about anything. If there are any predators in the area, they'll see me as a better target than you. Don't tell me there are predators in the woods. Not really. There might be a stray or two, but that should be it. These woods are considered to be very safe. Yes, the group just gets up to shenanigans, is, basically the trope of the group right now is, okay, so we have this quest. This is a side quest. It's just annoying. Let's go take it out. We just barge in through the front door. We don't even care about that it's... That's not a door, that's a stone wall. So what, we just bash it down. And then we slaughter everyone. And then we go back to our primary task. That's literally how our group is going. Our druid is so overpowered, he can't hit for less than some 50 points of damage or something stupid. We have an archer who always tends to have a -8 hit penalty because he's going for a called shot or something. Always just hits all 3 shots in 1 round from rapid fire, no less. This is AD&D, by the way, not 5th Ed, where it's all a video game. Our cleric who has softened stone, so we actually destroyed an entire mountain with 1... Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. If you've seen Dante's Peak, way at the beginning where the mountain is exploding and throwing fire, rock, and everything everywhere, that was actually what our 1 cleric, with 1 bad spell, Soften Earth, did. Even if that's true and worst comes to worst, you can just fly away. I guess that's true. You kinda sound like you don't like the woods, though. Alright, so, question for everyone. I know my dad likes the woods, because he likes to go camping, he likes to go geocaching. I'm actually kind of the exact opposite. They're just, I'm an indoorsy guy. I like going for the walk in the woods as long as they're safe, fair enough. As long as they're safe, I wouldn't mind, exactly. It's just that I would rather do so from my computer. Playing some sort of RPG. So I don't know if Gabriel is going to say anything, probably the same as Top if I would expect it. Justin might not be here, not because he doesn't want to be, but by choice. Then you don't have anything to worry about here. I already told you that there shouldn't be any predators in these parts. And it's not like these woods are haunted or anything. Haunted? That reminds me of something. What is it? Maybe you'll be interested in this. In our world, there is a forest that is notorious for the many suicides that took place there. It was said to be haunted by angry spirits. That sounds horrible. It really does. But why are there so many suicides there? And why are the spirits so angry? Well, in Japanese folklore, people have a soul, or what's called a reikon. Upon a person's death, the reikon separates from the body and goes into a form of purgatory. After certain rites have been performed, the reikon then goes to join its ancestors and becomes a protector of the living family. However, under certain circumstances, like the rites not being performed correctly or dying in a sudden and violent manner, the reikon transforms into a yurei instead. The Yurei can return to the physical world and haunts it until it has been laid to rest. I'm curious how the text-to-speech is going to pronounce that, because I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing that right. So there you go, another myth for your collection. Well, I know where to not go for my next vacation now. Fair enough, I wouldn't want to be going anywhere like that anyways, myself. So, once again, I'm guessing just Doppel, okay, so you wouldn't want to visit there either, and neither would I. That makes 2 of us. I think that makes, let's see, so Cabbage is actually us, so that would make 3 of us, actually. Myself, Doppel, and Lorem. So, what do you think about stuff like that? Paranormal stuff? You know, until a few weeks ago, humans were still just a myth. And if we look at the portal, it's like something that came out of a science fiction. Ibsen certainly seemed interested in it. He is. He actually read up on some new theories about it. Like what? Remember him telling you about the different branches and how the barrier separates them, right? Yeah? So since the barrier is made up of wormholes and using portals to displace them, it leaves gaps in the barrier. I distinctly remember him talking about something like that. Through these gaps, he thinks we can communicate with our alternate selves in the other timelines. How does that work? It all goes into the nature of existence itself. Who are you as a person? Do you think that you're just the Cabbage from this branch? What about all the ones from the other timelines who have made other decisions? Would you consider yourself to be the same person as them? The only difference between you and the Cabbage from another branch may be that you decided to skip breakfast this morning. Maybe you are all of them. How is that possible? Like a seed, from which many roots can sprout, or a tree and its many branches. There may be a uniting factor that branches off into the different timelines, your fundamental nature. You might call it a soul or something similar, but the idea is that even though there are many different versions of you, there is still an aspect that unites all of you. A part of myself that stands over me, kind of like a superego? An interesting comparison. If we use a similar model here, then we can say that you are also made up of 3 distinct parts. In each timeline you have a physical body which drives by its own base desires that seeks to fulfill. All of the physical needs like hunger, thirst, and even breathing fall out under this category. However, as a being with free will, you are also capable of making your own decisions. That includes being able to act contrary to what your body is telling you. The ability to think and make decisions on your own is your rational mind itself. And lastly, there is also the third part I just talked about. This one stands above all of you. It stands above all of you and unites you in some way. Let's call this your higher self. Through this higher self, you'll be able to communicate with your alternate selves in some way. Usually, the barrier would prevent this, but through the gap communication becomes a possibility. The more gaps there are, the easier this would be. And how would I go about doing that? I suppose that would be the job of the higher self. So I can't control it? These are all just theories. We really wouldn't really know until it happened. Only then could we study it. If it was to happen, how would I know? If someone else's experience gets relayed through this connection to you, it could manifest in a number of ways. Maybe it could be something like a deja vu or a false memory, maybe even dreams. But the biggest difficulty would be to recognize this phenomenon as happening in the first place. It's certainly quite out there, you have to admit. Sure, the quantum mechanics are already complicated enough. Once you look at what lies beyond, it's just crazy territory. What do you think about all this? I think it might already be happening. How many timelines are there? As many times as you play the game, really. Quantum stuff is beyond you. The only quantum stuff that I actually know, for actual fact or theory of fact, I guess, is when I was doing my English paper about last year now. And that was I was actually researching quantum mechanics in computers. There's only the one article, or I guess 2 articles, but the theory there is that a quantum bit would actually be enough information packed that our modern computers now would not be able to decode it if it were running for 100 years. That's 1 qubit, quantum bit. That's how much information is stored in it. And the next level of computers, they are actually aiming to create this quantum bit processor. Is I forgot what it was exactly. It was talking about putting it into a state at the quantum level in which physics do not actually always follow physics. So there is actually a hit and miss margin. So say you have a 5% error chance that there will be a 5% chance that physics will not actually obey the laws of physics. So using this is how you're actually going to store a whole bunch of information in one tiny little quantum bit. That's the idea. In the game here, yeah, it's basically what Doppel said, is it's infinite. You only have so many choices in the game, like, hey, how are you? Whatever. But it's otherwise infinite, is however many times you play it, that's how many times you get the timelines. And then there's more added on to it, because stuff. So I guess basically infinite. Unless you're talking about stories, there's a limited number of endings. Just think about it. If the possibility of it ever happening is there, then it's more than likely that it already has. I'm not sure I follow. Let's assume that this is an average timeline. The portals have been found by both of our peoples, contact has been made by now, and you and Reza are both here for a visit. A few letters were exchanged before you and Reza were sent here, so that means that the portal has already been used a few times. Using the portal once might only have an infinitely small effect on the barrier, like poking a hole in a castle wall with a needle. However, if you multiply this by a nearly infinite number of possible timelines, in which these events have happened, the effect must already be noticeable. Of course, some people may be more susceptible to this than others. Do you think you've already experienced it? I don't know. I've been having some weird dreams lately. So dreams can always be weird. We can definitely answer that. Or we can answer me too. Yeah, I basically agree with that too. In that I do believe in God. We can think about, like, you know, the whole universe, all the stars and everything. Why would we actually be the only life in the entire universe? Why would we have all these places that we can't explore or see, only for us to be here? And then if you actually do believe in evolution, I don't personally, but if you were to believe in that, same thing is, how could we actually be the only ones who actually just evolved into humans, whatever? So you both want two. Me too, alright? Really? We are entering a clearing, and from my view I could see some odd lines that had been drawn on the ground. Hey, I think this is the spot. Why do you think so? Well, the giant X on the ground kinda gives it away. What if we're not real? I believe there was actually a theory on that where, we're actually a computer simulation, and I can't remember where I got that one from, but the theory that we're not actually real, we're just NPCs in a video game, basically. Due to Real 4. I've got you beat, Doppel, this is not the Discord, hahaha. But I completely understand there, Doppel. And then there was actually also another joke where there's the hippie, where it's, we're not really here, man. We just think we're here. Fair enough, Doppel. It would be a safer approach anyways. The giant X on the ground kind of gives it away. Lorem took flight with a few flaps of his wings. After looking at the scenery from above, he returned to me. You're right. It does look like a giant axe. I guess it's time to get our hands dirty. That may not be necessary. What are you talking about? He went to the center where the lines crossed and picked up an object that was lodged halfway into the ground. He returned to me once more, holding another capsule similar to the one we found near the school. If we have to go back to town after walking all this way, I'll... And it's open. Apparently we go to 6K now. Yeah, I think the computer simulation theory, though, is that it's like a super advanced computer. I suppose, to make the analogy, is back in like 1990 or whatever, we had games that were capable of 16 kilobytes of RAM, so all you could do was jump, walk left or right for the NPCs, and basic hurt boxes. And now we have games that simulate life vaguely in a city with our current computers, our current actual recreational gaming systems. So, for that theory, it would be if you had a really big, fancy super space computer in, I don't know, let's say the next 1,000 years that really gets that advanced, then in theory you would be able to simulate some minor stuff. I mean, even on the more in-depth level, you have things like RimWorld that exist today, made by one guy, where there's the heavy simulation of you got shot. Well, where did you get shot? Oh, you lost your finger, so now you're going to be in mild pain for the rest of your life, and you're always going to be upset because of that, because you're in pain. And then you're also talking with other people, developing romances. It's all procedurally generated, but I guess you have that idea. War Fortress, similar thing, except fantasy, and I think more complex, just without the graphics. So if it is a computer theory, or a simulation theory, sorry, I don't personally buy that myself, but it could make sense. It could make sense if you have the high enough level of technology. Also considering how brains are basically alchemical versions of computers, because it's electrical currents and chemical storage information, so a much more powerful computer. You're not defined by binary bits, you have alchemicals. So how many more complex algorithms would you get out of 5 bits per bit? Right, so, wow. Philosophy with angels and scaly wings, and we were not even on the right chapter. This is just beyond you, haha, but what am I thinking? This is even really... If we were in a computer simulation, what we do inside the simulation is just real to us. Yeah, that's completely true, because if we're the NPC, then we're just sitting around, like, yeah, whatever. I'm an NPC, what makes you say so? I'm a real boy! So where is that? There's an abandoned store on the other side of the forest. That's where we're going. That just means the way back is going to be even longer. So here we are complaining, and there's Lorem. Oh yeah, let's go on an adventure! Whee! Are you sure we should even be in here? This is the place indicated by the map. I was talking about the building being roped off. Maybe that's just part of the game. My theory of life? I don't know if Doppel is going to actually want to answer that, but myself is I'm a Christian. I believe in God, how He created the world, and everyone in it. In a nutshell. Maybe that's just part of the game. Is the flooding part of the game too? Hey, you can give up if you want to. I certainly won't. Doppel abstains. Yeah, I thought so. Now are you going to help me or not? I guess. I just didn't expect that we'd have to get wet for this. All part of being a treasure hunter. This is like National Treasure or something. Just look for the X. Sure. Lorem flew up to the light fixture to get a view from above while I checked out the shelves. I remember when we could still shop here. What happened? Apparently, the area has a problem with flooding. I can see that. That's a really big question there. Are you talking about the theory of life there, Justin? The question that's really big? So much work and resources are needed to erect a building like this one, and in the end it just gets abandoned. We have plenty of empty buildings where I come from. Oh really? I'm not sure this is a good reminder of home, though. Yeah, I suppose it would be a pretty big question. Even philosophers are always arguing and saying, like, what's life and stuff. Well, at least we don't have a problem with the flooding. I nearly got sent back, by the way. Really? Why? Political reasons. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it. You just did. Is it related to that announcement they made about Reza? Maybe. Huh. I guess things are pretty serious. They are. Poor, sad Lorem. Have you found anything yet? Not really. Maybe it's underwater. You think so? It's certainly not anywhere near the ceiling. I already checked there. And I found nothing near the walls or the shelves. It could be hidden beneath the floor tile or something like that. I suppose you're right. Let's do it. So we have alright, or if we have to. I'm pretty sure I know which one Doppler's gonna go with. Sad Lorem, yes. One. Alright. And also for alright. Okay. Without hesitation, Lorem vanished beneath the water surface. I breathed in deeply, crouched down, and began to look underwater as well. Now wouldn't this be an awful twist of fate if it wasn't just us, Lorem, sorry, who got trapped under the shelf, but us too? Game over, but hey, where did the human go? I looked around, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary to me. Just as I was about to resurface to get some air, I heard a splash accompanied by a loud thud. What was that? Lorem? Everything was quiet as I looked around for my companion. Suddenly, I heard frantic knocking coming from a shelf that was lying on the ground, half submerged in the water. I realized that it was still standing when I came in earlier. As I waded over to it, it soon became clear that the knocks were coming from beneath. Lorem? Quickly, I mustered all my strength and grabbed the shelf, lifting it up until it fell over to the other side with a loud splash. Lorem resurfaced, gasping for breath. What just happened? I think I know the one that you're talking about, Doppel, and I think I know the name, too. If you don't want to say anything, though, I understand, because you don't want to start anything. Yeah, fair enough. I think I know the one you're talking about, though, Doppel. What just happened? I was looking underwater, and suddenly the shelf came down on top of me. Are you okay? Yeah, I think so. My legs hurt a bit, but that's about it. Yeah, I completely understand. Oh right, he thinks he saw something, so he's now gonna go back underwater where he was just in trouble to show us what he found. Without waiting for a reply, Lorem dove into the water again, resurfacing just a few seconds later, holding an ominous metal box that had a large X on it. This should be it. Let's hope it's waterproof, though. From the looks of it, it is. We should go outside, though it'll be hard to read anything in here. Sure. Well, what's inside? Lorem held up the box to me. I took one of the sheets of paper that were inside and started reading. I think these are pizza vouchers. Lorem was holding another sheet, which he started reading aloud. Congratulations! You solved Pantoli Pizza's annual treasure hunt. Remember the code word enclosed for an instant rebate on your next order, and a chance for the grand prize. You could be the lucky winner for a year's supplies of Pantoli's Pizza. This competition will run until... Oh, what is it? It's expired. The treasure hunt. The contest. Apparently it all ended months ago. Can we still get the pizza? Well, I don't think the offer is still valid. I mean, we can still get pizza regardless. This whole thing has made me really hungry. I suppose this concludes our treasure hunt. What do we do now? Maybe we could see the experience as another reminder that the journey is its own reward. Or that the early bird gets the worm. Pizza is nice. Man, I was actually at Walmart picking up pizza pops, just as a quick snack kind of thing. And those things were pitiful. It was about an inch of bread and air mixed. There was another half inch of air, and then there was this small layer of basically pizza filling on the inside, just a small thin layer. It was $1 per pizza pop, basically, but it was so pitiful. It was almost not even worth it. Or that the early bird gets the worm. You really want some pizza, don't you? That makes me wonder, though. Why didn't they get rid of the hints in this box when the contest expired? They must have realized that people may still have these kits at home, even when the contest is over. If people went out looking for a hint in the woods and it wasn't there anymore, they might look for hours until they decided there was nothing to find. Pizza is the best. Or they just didn't care. You know, I'm slowly starting to lose hope in Pantoli's Pizza. Sending us here is really negligent. Who knows what would have happened to you if I wasn't there? Maybe this whole building could crash down on the next unlucky people who end up here. Maybe that's why it was roped off in the first place. But you thought it was part of the game. Maybe they should have put up a sign or something. While I was talking, Lorem walked towards one of the wooden poles that was used to rope off the building. He picked up a large rectangular object from the ground that was hidden in the grass. It was a wooden sign. Warning! Do not proceed past this point. The treasure hunt has concluded. There is nothing more to find. Danger ahead. Back when you worked at Redacted in 2014, I had those microwavable pizza pops and burgers. Yeah, the microwavable pizza pop. I can't talk. The microwavable pizza pops is exactly what I was just having in the last week. I had a box of 6 of them, 2 at a time. So they lasted me a few days, but man, were they just pathetic. They tasted fine. It's just the amount of stuff going into it is just pathetic. Yeah, that's actually exactly it. The pizza pop is a decent chunk of bread, but there's just so thin layer of pizza filling. It was actually like a layer of paper on top. And then the instructions actually said to have it on a napkin when you cook these in the microwave. So because it always tends to, you know, explode and leak and whatever, so the pizza filling leaks out onto the paper, and then it hardens. So now you either have to choose between eating the paper or getting rid of half of your filling. So it was just, forget it. This is the one time I'm using the paper, I'll just eat the paper with it, and I did. And every other time was just, forget the paper. That's just a waste. Your browser is laggy. Check task manager and 20 gigabytes. Wow. Okay. What is my task manager saying? I am running Chrome and I know I have. Oh wow, 75% CPU usage. Yes, this is apparently not actually 75%. That must have been what I was just bringing up task manager. About 10% is going into OBS here, 1% into Desktop Windows Manager. It's kind of updating a little too quickly for me to see. Angels with Scaly Wings is actually a little bit down the list, I'm surprised. Memory, I have a gigabyte on OBS. Then comes Angels with Scaly Wings at 229 megabytes. Let's see, GPU. Wow, again, OBS is taking 20% of my GPU. Angels with Scaly Wings is taking up not even a full percent. That's a task manager. Let me bring up the window. I might as well, right? There's a window capture? Yeah. Wow, that's it exactly. Meanwhile, me and Lag Boulevard. Alright, so don't need to capture the cursor, I guess, but yeah, there's Task Manager sorted by GPU. There's Memory sorted by memory, OBS being first. Lots of stuff there, I guess. And finally CPU, and where is Angels with Scaly Wings? There it is. I just highlighted Angels with Scaly Wings, so you can see how little CPU that's actually taking up. Alright, let me just get rid of that from OBS again. Remove. There we go. We can find the treasure, but not this huge sign. What does that say about us? I'm not sure exactly. We should probably head back before it gets too dark, though. We still have to go through the woods again. Alright, let's go. Yeah, exactly. I think this is because of Ren'Py, where it's actually just a series of images, and... okay, done. I mean, it's even running. You can even see the little 5 on my window there, where it's running at 5 frames per second according to NVIDIA's overlay. Do you want to pick up some pizza on the way home? I don't know. Oh. I see Sebastian over there. Alright, so I believe we are going to be skipping through the majority of the investigation, correct? Yeah, to save GPU and CPU. It's completely understandable because it's not animating. The only time it animates is during the cutscene and the text there. Excuse me. I awoke with my eyes fixed on the ceiling wallpaper. A sense of dread lingered from a nightmare I no longer remembered. How many more times would I see this apartment before I return to my own world, or before something bad happened to me? I got ready for the day and tried to shake off those thoughts. Yeah, it goes up to 60 only during the cutscenes. It is pretty smart. And it kind of does also remind me of some of the tech videos I was actually just watching from Coding Secrets, where I was actually talking about Sonic. Sonic and the Genesis, how they had all these tricks to save frames, save on video RAM and processing power and stuff with just so limited resources. It's amazing how they get through all these restrictions using actually limited resources. It's fascinating. I think I did send a video, and I don't know if Doppel watched it, but I think it is otherwise up his alley, just for the complexities and stuff. I got ready for the day and tried to shake off those thoughts. You watched it? Alright. Wasn't it your kind of thing? I think it is, right? Hey, Cabbage. And right on the minute, you show up at this time every day like clockwork. Clocks are reliable, and reliable is good in this line of work. I've got something for you. An envelope from the facility. It was entertaining? Alright. Yeah, after I watched that first one, I kept getting recommendations on other similar videos. Also Sonic and the Sega Genesis and stuff, so I just kept watching and watching and watching. An envelope from the facility. Oh, those are the results from the test Santa ran on my blood. Let's see. Remarkable similarities in genetic makeup, particularly in the brain structure. Oh, I suppose this isn't the only reason you're here. The Chief will explain everything once we get there. Let's not keep him waiting, shall we? One of those coding secrets I was watching was actually the anti-piracy that he did on one of his games, where he did it in such a way that because on floppy disks they burned a hole into the disk so that it would try to write data, and if it can't, then it's a legit copy, but also pirators who also tried to pirate it. So he also had to do something with a variable so that if it was a legitimate copy, he had this randomized variable thing that was actually dynamic. So it was really hard to track down in real time, and then it would also update afterwards so that you still couldn't track it down even if you found out which variable it was that was stopping the game. And then it used up the full 4 kilobytes RAM or something, so you just absolutely did not have space to find it. And then finally, because he did such a good job that it took way longer than normal for pirated copies to come out, which when they did, it was still another 4 discs compared to the original 1 disc to play the game. And because of also some extra anti-hacks that he had, if this was a pirated copy, it would erase a platform from existing in this one level, level 4. So you could not progress past level 4. And even if they did get some sort of a level skip integrated into the game, every other platform and every other level would also be erased. So you could hear his amusement and laughter in his voice as he was explaining that the company started getting calls about how I'm stuck on level 4. In no uncertain terms, so they told to buy a legitimate copy of the game. Alright, so are we skipping ahead, or are we going through this? We should probably skip ahead. As you wish. It reminds me of Spyro's 3 hack protection. I remember seeing something about that, and I will have to take a look. Yeah, we can skip. Alright. Let's just skip a bit more here. I'll do it. Apparently Bryce trusts us. Hooray! We did all that. Let's see. We can visit the witness that is related to Lorem. Manages the facility, not Lorem. PDA's the library, not Lorem. Makes the hatchery. It at least relates to a dean, if not Lorem. So we are definitely visiting the witness, and might as well open up to chat. Which other option do you want to pick? Witness and eggs? Fair enough. Oh, it's you. Can I help you? Yeah, I'm working with the police, and I hoped you could answer a few questions. Because you responded to your call about the witness last night, right? Yes. Alright, what do you want to know? Can you tell me what happened? Sure, I was running an experiment in my home laboratory and waiting for it to finish. Around 2 AM, I suddenly heard a few bangs outside. It reminded me of a small explosion. It sounded like they were coming from just around the corner. I see. Did nothing seem unusual to you? Not really. I know I've caused a few similar disturbances with my experiments before. If someone else decided to take up home experimentation, they certainly have my approval. Besides, I wasn't in any position to abandon the experiment I was running at the time, or else it could have had a similar outcome. Thank you. I think that'll be all. No problem. Oh! Hey, what's our status with Lorem? Impressed! Excellent! By the way, are you going to meet with Lorem again anytime soon? I don't know. Why are you asking? Not a reliable or focused witness. No, I think we're more going with Ipsum here to get his dialogue here. By the way, are you going to be meeting with Lorem anytime soon? Now we're being interrogated. You've hung out with him a few times now. You see, he doesn't have many friends, and I think he's starting to like you. That's not unusual. Ipsum actually Skylar's Spyro in disguise. He looks like if the microwaving went on long enough, sure. It's just, if something happens next time you meet, don't be mad at him, okay? Okay. I'm sure that everybody knows what he's talking about. I know Doppel knows what he's talking about, I believe. I was on my way to the hatchery when I heard a voice calling out to me. Hello there! I turned around to see an unfamiliar face before me. Now, Doppel, do you want to talk with Kevin, I guess? Or do you want to just skip ahead to get the eggs to the hatchery? Hey, I'm Kevin. Cabbage, nice to meet you. Could I perhaps interest you in our Midwest institution? Is this some kind of a religious thing? Not at all, it's a college. Sorry, but I already got my degrees. Excuse yourself? Alright, fair enough. Yeah, I know, it was a joke. Oh, so me going to the college— I'm just gonna skip now. My going to the college is a joke now, is it? Oh, I'm skipping when I didn't need to. My bad. Not too bad. Here we go. Hey, Cabbage, what are you doing here? Oh, I just came by to drop these off. Drop what off? The stolen eggs. I figured the hatchery would want them back. Oh, I was actually going to get those from the police department later. I'm so glad they got back safely. Emily, stop chewing my leg! It's tasty! Oh well. I just like that reaction because Adine is actually, oh well, comedy. Anyway, I was about to go inside, so I'll take those off your hands. Thanks for bringing them here. It's tasty, yes. It tastes like scaly chicken. No problem. Adine, wait for me. Good job, Cabbage. Clara, do you know who that is? Hmm? She doesn't talk much. I think we should go inside. Yeah, probably. Well, see you some other time, Cabbage. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all your help. I'll take care of the remaining tasks so you can take the rest of the day off. I'm sure you have other things to do than helping the police department. It's no problem, really. My trip to your world wasn't supposed to be a vacation. Alright then, well, I'll see you next time. See ya! Alright, so we've been going about an hour. A little over that. Right, we're actually not there yet. So, just real quick, I'm going to be skipping this. Do we want to go for the Chapter 4 with Lorem? Just wrap everything up already? Or are we going to save that for next week? We might go over time if we just do it now. So we were kidnapped by Zumi here. We're going to skip ahead. We already know about what happens. So we've already had his message unlocked before, apparently. So I'll also just make the save here, just, might as well. Factory. Oh, I forgot. Was that actually coming up? I need to take a look at when that was actually supposed to start in the first place. 15 minutes. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, yeah, I was not expecting that. Alright, I think this would take more than 15 minutes, so I would probably err on the side of stopping this now. If you want to finish up with Lorem here, I could definitely do that now. Alright, so end this now. Let's just get this message real quick at least. I saved, so we'll get this next week as well if we're going to stop here. We've got some messages, let's see. Hey, it's me. Do you want to meet up again? I know you're busy, but the summer festival is coming up soon. I'm not saying we should go, but we certainly could if you want to. In any case, call me back when you hear this. Could go either way. Alright, because I'm actually kind of eager to show Doppel basically the one new line that he probably hasn't seen yet. Let's go. So I'll go slow at first-ish so that Doppel can nudge it back if he wants to. I'm estimating that this will 30 minutes? Shouldn't be more than 30 minutes, I hope. I'll keep an eye on myself here. So, meet with Lorem. Edging it back, alright. I also don't know if Doppel will be available next week to hear literally this one line. Hey! Hey, Lorem! So, this is where you live. I already got a glimpse when you delivered Reza's letter, remember? Yeah, back then I didn't really notice anything. I was nervous. There's blushing Lorem again. Yeah, so... kinda glad that I decided to keep on going just so you can see that one line. Next week we're gonna be doing one final one, I believe. Why are you nervous? Well, there was the fact that I was going to speak to a human. Plus, I didn't know if he'd actually listen to what I had to say. And then I also wondered if I was going to remember everything that I wanted to tell you, or worse, if I'd get thrown out again, like when I talked to Reza. I actually talked to Reza? Well, not really. He just took the letter I had for him and closed the door, but that was before you arrived here. Do you know who sent the letter? He came through the portal, so I assume it was from a human. I see. Oh, that must be the sphere you found. Also, just a note, I did actually unlock this achievement off-screen by accident, so this is going to be new dialogue for everyone else, not for me. I'm still going to be able to actually skip through here. And it's also going to not tell you the achievement of how Lorem assembled it, not us. Lorem walked up to the table and picked up the round object I found at the park. Yeah, maybe you can help me out if it's actually Ipsum's or not. Sure. Looks like it has no battery, though. You turned the sphere a few times, then placed it on the base and plugged it in. I heard a Windows noise. He touched the base of a peculiar way. In response, writing appeared on the sphere's surface. Yeah, I skipped that. Sorry, got that scene unlocked because I was getting this screenshot here. Looks like it really is Ipsum's sphere. He'll be relieved to know that it was found. So what can we actually do with it now? Nothing, really, unless you know the password, that is. Well, that's a shame. I do happen to know his password. That's only for emergencies. No playing around with the sphere, then. Got it. By the way, did you hear about Ipsum? Apparently he's become a witness for a murder case. We do in fact know about that. And no, we're not skipping ahead. Yeah, I actually took his statement about that not too long ago. Really? What does that mean this has something to do with Reza's disappearance? And there's Lorem's blush again. There's really no use in denying it by this point. How long have you been helping the police anyways? Since the day of my arrival, really? Oh wow, I guess that explains why you've been so busy. I imagine you can't talk about it though. I don't really care anymore. Besides, I think it has become common knowledge by this point. You're trying to find Reza, right? Wasn't he your friend? Not sure I'd call him that. Still, he was supposed to be your partner in this, and now he's just gone. I'm more worried about what he's doing now. Even if we find him, this may put our diplomatic relationship in peril. I guess I shouldn't talk about stuff like that. Why not? It's no use worrying about things I can't change. Right, just focus on the things you can. That's my philosophy. You know, it's a bit of a shame we didn't get to go out, you didn't want to go to the festival. I already had my fair share of adventures the last time we met. Besides, I should probably lay low for now. You're right, the crowds would probably go crazy if they saw you. We could still watch the big fireworks show together, though. We wouldn't even need to go to the festival grounds to do that. Sure, if you like. It not only takes place at the end of the festival, though. When's that? A few days from now. You've been here a few minutes and already want to schedule the next get-together. Get-together. That's an odd way of phrasing it. You're missing out a lot due to lag? I'm sorry to hear that, Justin. I suppose at best, if you want to rewatch this later. Yeah, I can't do anything myself. Yeah, that might do something. I should see if I can do that with my tablet, actually. Just to see if that would fix its internet. I won't need dice here, so definitely no problem in just quickly reboot this. Restart. There we go. Tablet's restarting. That's another way of phrasing it. Would you prefer I called it a date? I don't know. Lorem blush. You've done that twice? Maybe it's your modem then. I should actually get to rebooting my modem. It's supposed to be done semi-frequently depending on how much you use it, I understand. That might help, Justin. I'm gonna be talking here, so if Duffel could actually say that. Otherwise, I will later at some way. I don't know. What's that notification? Tablet restarted. Okay, fine. Thank you. I'm so glad to know that my tablet restarted after I restarted it. I'm at a good spot. Alright. Just seems a bit odd to me, considering this all started with me begging you to meet me so that I could draw pictures of you. We did that, and then we went treasure hunting, which was your way of saying thanks. What would you call what we're doing now, then? Dinner. I invited you for dinner. I'm not seeing anything to eat here, though. Right, that's because I wasn't sure what's in the kitchen. I also don't know what you like, so let's just order something. There are a few places nearby. Do you have anything in mind? I'm not really in the mood to try something new. Sure, how about pizza? Sounds good. Alright, let's just call Pantoli's then. They already let us down with the treasure hunt. Why do you think they'll be, this time they'll be different? They're the closest, and I haven't ordered from them in ages. Maybe for good reason. If they can't even get a treasure hunt right, I don't want to know what they do to their pizzas. It's just a pizza, Cabbage. How bad could it be? Alright, if you want to vouch for Pantoli's, go ahead. There's the window sound again. Windows Crystal Sphere 10.0. Lorem took the sphere from its base and started to manipulate its interface with his fingers. What are you doing? Looking up the menu. I thought using Ipsum's sphere was only for emergencies. He went into my room when he was looking for the sphere, and he isn't allowed to do that unless it's an emergency. It's the least he can do, considering you found it for him. Alright. If you don't want pizza, I can just put it back and we can order something else. You already touched the sphere, it's too late to put it back now. If you say so. Let's see. Even their smallest pizza is going to be pretty big for me. We could share one. Sure, what toppings would you like? I think I'll go with salad. And now our potential option to just criticize some salad on a pizza? That's a new one. Sounds interesting. Or I'll take that as well. Two? Alright. Salad on pizza sounds interesting. Interested enough to try it? I'll look at the other options first. Alright. What would you like on your half? That didn't take us long. Pepperoni, grapes, or salad? Alright, in theory my tablet has been rebooted. It actually cleared up 300 megabytes already, apparently. So I'm already impressed by that. Guess I'm gonna just maybe get the dice up just in case, and otherwise shut it off again because I'm not using it just yet. Loading dice for fairness. Here we go. Okay, the dice, apparently Dopp was immediately just indisposed, so the dice actually say salad. Really? Alright. And son, the order has been placed. For the next 30 minutes, Lorem showed me many of the other and less useful features of the Ixalan sphere. He made it levitate, showing me a primitive-looking website and even using it as a voice modulator. Alright, so Doppel, I hope you are actually here right now because this is your extra line that's coming up. I'll get it. So I am actually going to pause just for Doppel here real quick. Just to make sure that he is here. Alright, so Lorem got up to walk to the door from my place on the couch. I couldn't see anything, but I heard a bit of talking before you returned to me carrying the square box. So that would be half an extra line there. Guess who just delivered this box of goodness? I don't know. It was Adine. I know her. I guess it's not unusual for you two to know each other. Your jobs are pretty similar. Yeah, but it seems she knows you too. I do. What about it? She asked me what I'm doing in your apartment. I thought it was pretty, a bit strange. Maybe she just tried to make some small talk. Maybe. So, I believe that would that actually already put us to abandoned? I think she gets abandoned in the next chapter now. Nope, apparently she's still good. Whatever. Lorem opened the box and showed me the pizza we had ordered. Memories of days gone by raced through my head. Alright, let's get this party started. Don't we need more people for a party? With pizza, anything's a party. Yeah, it is a very interesting little touch. That's why I was so... one of the reasons I was so intrigued by this game, because every little thing actually has its interconnectedness. It is a very, very minor thing, but it is a very interesting thing all the same. With pizza, anything's a party. I feel like I haven't had pizza like this in ages. What are you waiting for then? I took one of the slices. On its surface, there was an obvious layer of grease that was sure to stain anything it came in contact with. Crunch. What do you think? It's been way too long. Guess you don't mind that we got Pantoli's now, huh? With these words, he grabbed one of the slices on his half and bit into it. After chewing a few times, his expression suddenly changed into a twisted scowl. Is something wrong? Now I remember why I haven't ordered from Pantoli's in a while. Their pizza sucks. It's not that bad. Maybe you just haven't had a good pizza to compare it to. Hey, it's still better than nothing. I suppose. By the way, how's your game coming along? I don't know. I feel like I've hit a wall. Why is that? Maybe I just got in over my head, you know? The more progress I make, the more it becomes apparent that I'll need a lot more help than I thought. I have an image for that, I believe, so let me see if I can speedrun an image into, oops, not that one. Let me see if I can speedrun an image into this scene. Image. New image, browse. Let me look for this. Because I know exactly what he's going through. Here it is. Oh wow, that's... let me transform that center to screen. Nope, that was the wrong one. Transform... stretch to screen. Here we go. This is exactly what Lorem is going through right now. Remove. I also don't know the artist behind that one. Glad you like that, Doppel. So, you're the only one who's been working on this? Yep, but I'm starting to realize that it won't work if I continue like this. Why not? It would never be done, or if it was, it'd be very difficult, different from how I would like it to be, so something needs to change. I suppose I'm just worried because once you start getting involved, start involving other people, things just get a lot more complicated. How so? I've always been the odd one out, so I'm not sure how well I would work in with a team. You have to find people, work out how to pay them, and how to divide the work. I guess I'm just starting to realize the kind of investment this would actually be. You sounded a lot more optimistic the last time we talked about this. Yeah, it's all fun and games when you're just thinking about the ideas that you could turn into the game. But once you actually get into start working on it, it's a completely different story. Alright, see you in a bit, Doppel. At some point, it just becomes another job. Isn't that what you expected? Of course it is. I knew it would be a lot of work, but I guess I'm just not sure if it will be worth it. That depends on why you're making the game in the first place. Last time you said you had nothing to lose either way. Well, maybe I was wrong about that. I do have something to lose. What's that? Myself. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do what's necessary to finish what I started. If you think about it, what's the worst that could happen? Investing a lot of time and money only to end up with nothing in the end. I could end up disappointing those who play the game, those who collaborated with me, and lastly, myself. That's what you're worried about? That's what being a creator is like. If you put tons of work and effort into something, you want people to like it, right? If that's not going to happen, why do it in the first place? You're not doing this for other people, are you? It's your game and your idea, after all. Right, but if you're not trying to cater to someone else, so other people, so what other, I can't talk. You're not trying to cater to someone else, so what other people think is not important. Besides, what they think is outside your control anyways. Just look what happened with Pantoli's. Why do you think their pizza sucks? They probably cut a lot of corners during production, and with the ingredients. They value quantity over quality, and are trying to get as many pizzas out as possible to satisfy demand. They are cheap, and the pizza tastes like it. Okay. But they are still in business, so this must be working for them somehow. Even if you don't like it, they are offering something other people clearly want. They probably don't give a dang about whether or not you like their pizza. I'm sure they don't. They just give people what they want, and that's why they stay in business. Are you saying that I won't be successful if I don't cater to others? No, I'm saying that being unsuccessful is the goal. What? Sorry, unless being wow, I really can't talk. I'm saying that unless being successful is the goal, you don't need to cater to anyone else. Because if you did, you end up being like Pantoli's, and you really would lose yourself. I guess you have a point. So what if other people like their greasy pizzas? That's not what you want to do. Certainly not. You said yourself that your philosophy is too focused on the things you can change. So what are your options here? A wise person was said, do or do not. There is no try. A wise person. Not doing this has never been an option for me. Then you make the most of it or nothing else matters. And I think you're right. I should just focus on getting things done as best as I can. Who knows? Maybe you're wrong about Pantoli's. Maybe they're actually a big family restaurant with rich tradition and history, and that's why people like them. No, I think you're just because they have cheap pizzas. Anyway, there's a good reason for my anxiety. I usually keep to myself, and that's always how I've worked best. My cat just dropped something off the bed. There's one thing that life has taught me, is that people fear what they don't know. I guess it's an odd thing to say when humans are worshipped by many. Most of them don't actually know any humans, not like I know you. Maybe I should rephrase that. People are afraid of what they don't understand. I was bullied a lot when I was a kid. You know, it can be pretty tough when you're growing up, and all the other kids are always bigger than you are. Luckily, that was never a big problem for me, even in kindergarten. We get told not to make fun of our differences because of how different our species are. It's just odd that for a society that celebrates our differences, there are still things that are too different even for them. When I grew up and went to college, I thought that people would know better than to continue doing those horrible things, but I was ultimately proven wrong. Their bodies may have been those of adults, but their hearts stayed the same, in the same place they were for decades before. Working on my own has helped, but that is treating the symptom, not the cause of the problem. I can't always just run away, and I'll have to step into the limelight and brave the storm again if I want to finish the game. There's something about me that you don't know. Who wants pizza? Hello, Doppel. You're back in time for Lorem's big secret. They actually have tacos. I think I'm having burritos myself tonight, actually. There's something about me you don't know. In a way, I owe it to you to tell you, because you're going to find out sooner or later anyways. And when it happens, it should be on my terms rather than someone else's. What is it? I'm a hermaphrodite. I was born with both sets of sex organs, and before you ask, it's not something that is common in any of our dragon species. In the eyes of some, it makes me a freak of nature, something that needs fixing, or shouldn't exist in the first place. So, that brings us to our option here. We don't mind, I'm not sure what to say, or we could just be rude. Get out. Doppel says 1, fair enough. I don't imagine Gabriel is going to be saying anything any different. I imagine Justin is having enough trouble trying to keep in context. He is still a good person, yes. I imagine Cabbage is a good person too. We've been largely good except for the evil ending and one time that Seawolves was here trolling a dean. He was called a he on the last chapter. Don't get Lorem upset. 1. We actually can't get Lorem upset. Mechanically wise, I think that would flat out be the get out. You don't? Sure, some people may think that it's odd, but I don't really care. It's just another part of who you are. Thank you. That's such a big relief. You know, it's not always the bullies who go after me once they know. Too often it's been people who I thought were my friends. So, whenever I meet another person, I have to prepare myself for this conversation, not knowing whether they'll suddenly turn against me when they find out. And the reactions can be very different. Some get angry or make fun of me. Others feel I've betrayed and don't want to have anything more to do with me. By now, I think I've seen it all. I'm so glad that you're not like them, but it's always a gamble. Well, it looks like that my YouTube on my notebook here just broke for a moment. If anyone's having internet problems or whatever, it's might be YouTube. It might actually be my internet here. How about that? I actually dropped 119 frames so far. Okay, so I've only dropped 119 frames. It seems to be good, mostly. Maybe the next person I tell is going to become violent. How can I put myself out there when this could happen wherever I go? You know what I mean? What will happen when, what will people do when they find out about me and my game? I just don't know. That's what I'm worried about. I only wish there was a place where I could be safe from all of that. Where it just wouldn't matter, that this is who I am. If someone like you, someone with a place of authority, said something, maybe that could change things. I know you can't interfere with our politics, though. You're an ambassador. Doesn't mean I don't have hope that something like that will happen one day. I actually could relate to Lorem as well. I was not entirely bullied, I guess, but I was basically like a social outcast. And then for a story time, I may have actually told this if I don't remember. But apparently in my grade school, all the teachers actually knew me and my mom, because they would always be, "You're Corey's brother, right?" being the name of my brother here. And that would be because he would always be picking fights and whatever, physically fighting and attacking other people. And it actually came to a point where he had a niceness award for not hitting anybody for 3 days. 3 days! I should probably go now, it's getting late. You've made me feel a lot better though. You told me not to worry about the future, and maybe you're right. Sure, there is still a lot of work ahead, but maybe it's not as hopeless as I thought. It never is. Hey, do you still want to see the fireworks show together? Sure. Alright, just give me a call in a few days and we can discuss the details. I'll do that. Alright, see you then. See ya. Alright, so we now have the good ending locked in. That fish from SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't even remember which one. I have not seen a lot of SpongeBob. Alright, so apparently we have the option of meeting anyone else except for Adine, and yes, she's abandoned. Poor Adine. Adine's not there anymore. Yeah, no, she's abandoned. Yeah, this is what happens at Chapter 4. If you've been meeting with 2 people, at Chapter 4 you cannot meet with the other one because, yeah, abandoned. So this is, I think I may have mentioned this to Doppel before, where Adine is basically complaining about being dumped for a blue midget statement thing. That was entirely because of the scene here, where she delivers a pizza and is surprised to see that we're with Lorem. I think that's what it's related to. Thanks, it took 3 days to make the potato salad. 3 days. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit. We're gonna go with Lorem. We're running out of time from what I said. I'm gonna make a quick save here, and then I'm gonna start skipping ahead in the hopes that we can do this in the next 3-ish minutes. And if Doppel wants to extend it, I don't know. Otherwise, just let me know if it's going on too long, and I'll just cut it down. End it. We can edge it back again. All right. Sorry, Doppel. Let's just wrap this up. It's time to go. Oh, I still have Ipsum's Ixumen sphere. I could give. Oh, right. This is where we're looking the good ending. I could give it to Lorem when I meet with them. So yes, take the sphere. We need the base and the sphere. You can see the little graphics there. Going at. Okay. It should not take that long, and I know I already said that. I think this has consistently taken 15, maybe up to 30 minutes every time, so should not take that long, if I'm just narrating. So after a few minutes of walking, I arrived at a rather empty-looking area near the edge of town. Hey, Lorem. Hey, Cabbage. And I don't think I've actually done this one yet, because I've only taken the screenshot, so we should absolutely not be able to exactly skip ahead a lot. You're right, this will be much better than mingling with the crowds I can do without all the extra noise and screaming. Yeah! So, what are we going to do now? Wait. Oh, I also brought Ipsum's sphere. Maybe it can finally find its way home. Great! Would you mind holding on to it, though? I don't really have a bag or anything to put it in right now. That's alright. Just remind me to give it to you later. Sure. I think it's starting. Look. We were quiet as we waited, and the stillness of the night enveloped us. Soon I heard the sound of the first rocket making its way into the night sky, after which it exploded into a pattern of colors. More rockets followed, their thunderous noise echoing throughout the land. So I'm going to be skipping after Lorem goes to get help, and basically just holding down control to skip until I get to the dialogue choice the dialogue with Lorem, because we've already seen Reza criticizing us for sipping champagne and stuff. Don't? Alright, fair enough. Suddenly a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was, and how I was told multiple times that everyone was going to be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reza to do anything he had planned to do. Not only was the village basically deserted, yeah, that would be the control skip, because it will not skip on unseen choices, so it would literally be safe at this point, unless I change the settings, to just hold control and we'll skip literally everything that Reza has told us before, and then we'll stop at the Lorem coming into view. It'll do that automatically for us. Unless we... Is it? Yeah, if we change this to all messages, that's where it would skip the unseen stuff. We could also... Alright, so this is on keep skipping, so if I had tab on, then it would keep skipping even after the choices. So, that's your little safeguard if you're interested in the story, but you've seen something before. Not only was the village basically deserted, but the end of the fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving them as much security as he would ever need. As the portal had been repaired by the mysterious person I met, now was the perfect time for Reza to make his getaway, and I was the only one who knew. Lorem, I think we need to go, now. What's going on? I know where Reza is. Really? We need to stop him. We? What do you think I can do? He's twice as big as I am. Let's not forget about his weapon. I can try to hold him off. You go and get help. Alright. Wait a minute. Give me the sphere. There you go. I watched as Lorem... Windows again. I watched as Lorem took the sphere out of my hand and slid his fingers over its interface in a peculiar way. After a few seconds, they were done and the sphere was back in my hands. It might help you. It might not help you much, but if something goes wrong, just throw it at him. Alright? Where is he anyways? The underground building. Let's go! Alright, I'm gonna start skipping here, and it should automatically stop right at, let's make a quick save just in case. It should automatically stop at, Lorem for the good ending. So let's just skip. And there we go. Perfect. You know what? I'm not having this conversation with you again. What? Again? You want to have a talk now? Sure, why not? Alright. New dialogue, exactly. That's why this... Scroll back? Yeah, but talking can wait. Now that you're here, we've got everything. Come on, help me with this and let's get out of here. No. No? What are you talking about? I'm not going anywhere with you until you answer a few questions. Want to talk now? Sure, why not? We've probably got a few hours if we wanted to talk. Wanted to. None of them will disturb us here. We could even get the backup generator as well after we send this one over. This is a lot earlier than I was expecting, so that is definitely very different. You know what? I'm not having this conversation with you again. What are you talking about? That was us! That is abnormal. Your plan, Reza. I know all about it. Great. Then stop wasting time and help me with this. I'm not here to help you. This is where it ends. What is your problem, Cabbage? You know about the comet, so we can't stay here. Just shut up, Reza. I'm not in the mood to talk with you anymore. I don't need to, because your friend has just arrived. Oh, Maverick. I was wondering, what friend are we talking about? You planned this, didn't you, Cabbage? Traitor! He pulled out his gun, not sure which one of us he should be aiming at. Just let me go, and I'll forget this thing ever happened. You've got 6 bullets for 3 people. Do you think you can really do that, Reza? Do you think this is worth risking your life for? Yeah, that's what I was exactly doing. I've been risking my life for this every day for the last 2 weeks. What did you do during that time? Sip champagne? Yes, it is. Alright, so poor Lorem went down, and here we are, stopped automatically again. Lorem collided roughly with the wall and fell to the ground. Remembering Lorem's words, I took the spear and threw it towards Reza as hard as I could. At first it looked as though it was going to miss, but the spear adjusted its path and flew straight towards him. The sound effects. Reza aimed at me, but the spear hit him before he could pull the trigger. He lost his balance and stumbled backwards before he fell to the ground. He got up. I saw that barrel of his gun was now bent out of shape. When he realized this, he bolted towards the exit. I tried to stop him, but he hit me in the face with the gun's blunt end and ran past me. Yeah, it was. It was instead of Reza, aha, but A, B, and C, and D was now, shut up, Reza! I already know the plan, stop telling me it again! It took a few seconds until I composed myself and ran after him. So I don't know if Maverick actually fell from that one, yeah, death-wise. Lorem should be fine. It was his good ending, and last time he was just blown up instead. As I went up the hill, I saw that Reza was already taking his place while the portal did its starting routine. I ran up to the console and entered a few commands. Reza turned around and saw me. What are you doing? I like seeing Reza being tackled every time. Reza walked off the platform, but I quickly ran around the console and threw my weight against him, just in time for the portal to start teleporting us. Oh, both of us this time. Lorem lived to tell the police what had transpired in the underground building. The conversation they had overheard was enough for the dragons to find out about the comet, and with the help of the portal's power source, they were able to divert it. As neither humanity nor the dragons knew where Reza and I ended up, our visit was considered a failure. Humanity had decided that if our visit did not yield any results, they would no longer try their luck with the portal and instead use the remaining power energy to hold on as long as they still could. For the dragons, life went on as usual, but for our city, this outcome meant they had to continue their fight on their own. It was an uphill battle that was eventually lost when the city ran out of resources and fell. Alright, so I'm going to be quiet here and end the stream afterwards, so Doppel can do his factorial. I see what you mean. I understand that, Doppel. Did you... That depends on how far back you left. Since you wanted pizza, we did Lorem's ending. So we actually basically... Lorem told us he was a hermaphrodite. We were okay with that. He was surprised because he would always be bullied for his differences there. We went to the fireworks together. He gave us the spear, said if anything goes down, throw it. We did, because things went down. Destroyed his gun. He tried to flee at the portal. We kind of stopped him, and then this. Foreverlone.jpg. I don't personally think they're scary in that regards, because I don't think there is anything they can do. But that's just me. That is because of prophecy and stuff, and it's all already written. It's not foreverlone.jpg, it was partingson.ogg. So we reappeared on the other side and collapsed on the ground. It was the day of my arrival in the Dragon's World, just as I had planned. What the... this is not for people under 13, mind you. What the heck is going on here? Oh, look what the cat dragged in. You're supposed to be dead. Am I now? You're right, but today is not that day. Just the way he slowly goes over. She held up Reza's head and punched him. His body instantly went limp as he fell unconscious. Good job, Cabbage. Oh, is that yours? She pointed at the object on the ground behind me. When I turned around, I realized that it was the Ixoman sphere. Whatever setting Lorem activated, it apparently prompted it to follow us, even through the portal. Not exactly. You better hold on to it regardless. Those things are expensive. She walked over to Reza's lower half and started lifting him by the legs. Come on and help me with this. We've got a long night ahead of us. Boy, do they ever have a long night ahead of us. Alright, so that you have seen Lorem's good ending. Excellent. The plan. Alright, I believe that also actually gets every... wrong one. I believe that gets us every single achievement too. Where we put everything, if you're talking about the bodies, that is actually a secret. Alright, so it looks like we only have the one left for, I imagine, the true ending, which will be starting next week. Spoiler, I guess. There's a picture of Lorem. I'll be getting a picture of that and adding it to the rotation. That's his, that's the Blimey we were talking about, where the face is in the chest. No head. Alright, so I'm just gonna start a new game just to get the achievements. Yeah, skip ahead. Oh, that was convenient. Save here. Achievement. Yeah, we've got everything there, everything there, everything there, everything there, and one missing here. Alright, so we are missing exactly one achievement. We're going to be calling the stream here. We're going to be starting again next week for the final run. Literally, whoever you want to meet. It makes literally no difference anymore. Not even if we abandon them, if we totally piss them off. We could piss everyone off if we wanted to. It does not make a difference. So I'll be calling this here. Doppel here in the chat is going to be streaming Factorio, Late Night Factorio, in 15-ish minutes. So he's already pushed it back twice. I need to cut this off here and now. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll see you guys again next week, and see you in Doppel's stream in 15-ish. Sorry for pushing this back twice now. See you guys. Oh, and if you wanted to join our Discord, link is in the description.